A while back I did a poll asking everyone if they would still watch my content if I branched out away from animation, and I was happy to see most of my votes said yes. Even one guy had me at gunpoint, like, okay, don't threaten me, bro, I'll change. Last year I took a complete 180 with my content in one video and talked about the body horror masterpiece called The Substance, which is actually called the Pubstance, which in Hebrew translates to the Pubstance. The Substance is the best horror film ever made. I mean, the cinematography, the writing, the effects, the acting, oh my god, I love it so much! But you know, then Demi Moore lost Best Actress and I reacted like this.
Goes to Mikey Madison.
That's when I knew I had a problem. I had realized body horror was not just becoming one of my favorite genres, but also a drug, or what's another word for drug? Like a, yeah, that. I swore off that stuff. I said no more. Then Together gets amazing reviews. Not just amazing reviews, but better than The Substance? Bitch, that's like saying it's better than God itself. I had to take the body horror drug again and watch Together, and, well, what did I think of it? Years into their relationship, Tim and Millie find themselves at a crossroads as they move to the country. With tensions already flaring, an encounter with an unnatural force threatens to corrupt their lives, their love, and their flesh. Together is definitely one of the better horror films I've seen this year. Not being so fixated on jump scares, but making you squeamish. Every single scene that sets out to make you uncomfortable and tense up works to perfection, especially the scene with the bathroom. The movie's main focal point is the relationship between Tim and Millie, and Dave Franco and Alison Brie are married in real life, so their chemistry bounces off the walls exceptionally here. They are two people in a relationship that works fair enough, but you can tell they have some subtle resentment towards each other, and all the pieces just aren't there. That's until Tim is infected with an unnatural force and they become connected in awful ways. This is where the movie is at its most clever. The movie isn't showing paranormal creatures or Scooby-Doo type monsters. The real horror is seeing Tim become uncharacteristically obsessed with Millie, to the point where he's watching her at school. I love seeing the main character slowly become the scary one and the problem in these types of movies, but they keep having to snap out of it to figure out the problem, but nothing seems to work as the situation de-escalates. This is definitely a movie that is fun to watch with the crowd and seeing their reactions to all the body grossness, limbs meshing together, body parts getting stuck, and the chill vibe that the movie presents with some really cool cinematography and the most intense of scenes. This movie is actually genuinely funny, which also causes it to become even more memorable without all the body horror stuff. I love seeing their hands fused together in the poster, and in the theater the people in the audience were gasping and freaking out a little, but I was sitting there with a cold stone face watching them merge together, cause like, come on. Y'all some babies. There's this movie I think it's called the Pubstance. Y'all really ain't seen nothing yet. When you see a boob get thrown up out of an eye socket, call my number back, then we'll talk. Together's biggest flaw though is its ending. It's a solid ending, but you can tell 15 minutes before the end credits the writers of this film have gotten the conclusion they wanted, but they realize they have written themselves in a corner, and they're just kinda like...
Now what?
I know this was a short video, but hey man, sometimes I don't want to just write a short letterbox review and go on about my day. Sometimes I just want to rave very shortly about a film without fully going in depth with it, but rather shine some attention to it. This is the first body horror film I've seen since The Pubstance, but even without seeing the movie, I still think I would have enjoyed this movie the exact same. Honestly, all jokes aside, it doesn't matter if I like The Substance more than this film. What matters is if you want to dive into the world of body horror movies, then I think this would be a perfect start for that. Go see this.